A very good evening to you and welcome to a Date with a Dinner Set for the 250th time. You are welcome to a Date with a Dinner Set, programme 250 here on May the 4th. Very exciting indeed. It is quite incredible to think we have been going for nearly 5 years. We started on the first Sunday back in June 2020, those dark days of lockdown, and here we are. We're still here. You're still here, and none of us are any older or indeed any wiser, but we still enjoy our music together. Good evening, Mr. Ollie Robertson. Fantastic, and it's great to see you and Maggie and Jerry as well. Fantastic. So here we are on programme 250. And what a week it's been, hasn't it? Been fantastic with all the lovely warm weather, the sunshine, bright skies and blue skies. And in fact, the blue skies have been a bit of an inspiration behind tonight's celebratory programme. And I did, by the time I'd planned it, I had worked out it wasn't going to be quite as blue by today, but never mind. It's a celebration of the fact that summer weather has been here and we've had some absolutely glorious days. So I do hope this finds you well and enjoying your bank holiday weekend. Hello, Fenella. How lovely to see you on a boys' weekend with Daddy. That sounds very exciting. Wow. I wish I could go on that. Fantastic. So our opening music this evening, we always have a bit of TV music to open with, and that one was the music to The Thin Blue Line. You see, I said it was all about blue, didn't I? The Thin Blue Line, which only ran for about 18 months, 2 series, 14 programmes starring Rowan Atkinson, James Dreyfus, amongst other people. Hello, JP, and all of you. Fantastic. Hello, Yaska. Hello, Mr. Mark Turville. Fantastic. Yeah, so that was the music to the... hello, Anne. Oh, fantastic. Wonderful. The music to The Thin Blue Line, comedy series. Well, allegedly a comedy. It was quite... boom, boom. Thank you. It was quite funny in places, actually, and that music was composed by Howard Goodall. Howard Goodall. And Howard Goodall's CBE, quite an amazing musician, actually, in so many ways. He's composed so many bits of memorable theme music, Red Dwarf, Black Adder, Vicar of Dibley, Thin Blue Line, all that sort of thing. He's also a classical composer as well. And some of his choral music is especially well written. He's a presenter, an amazing pianist as well, and a thoroughly nice chap. I had the great pleasure to meet him once, and he's a thoroughly nice chap as well. Good evening, Martin. Good evening, Jeannie. Jeannie, I haven't seen you for at least 8 hours, but it's lovely to see you again. Anyway, as I say, you are welcome to a Date with a Dinner Set programme 250 here on May the 4th, and we are celebrating summer and all those wonderful blue skies we've had. So we've got our usual mix of things this evening, and the only thing that's different actually this evening is the fact that we've squeezed in a 7th piece, if I ever stop talking, that is. I had a request earlier in the day via email. Could you possibly today on your special programme play this? And it just so happened that it fitted in so well with the theme. I thought we'll squeeze that in, but that will only happen if I really do shut up and we do some playing. Yeah. So as usual, if you're here with us live in the chat room and you want to join in the chat about the music, the context, or what you've been doing, the weather, what you're eating, anything of that, then please do. If you're watching on Catch Up, you're equally welcome, and have fun guessing the songs that we are going to play this evening. Hopefully all the tech gremlins have well and truly gone away, so we will have an undisturbed programme this evening, but not before I have some coffee. You know what happens, if I don't have my coffee, then we don't get enough notes going on. That's really what happens, isn't it? Right, enjoy. Brother, I don't think you've ever mentioned that little factoid that you went to go and see ELO ENEC in 1986. Jamie Bland, good evening, sir. How lovely to see you. Hello, Tamsin. Yes, but we are still celebrating. We're still celebrating the blue skies we had and the ones that are there to come. So indeed that was, I don't know who was first, it's gone off my screen now. Mr. Blue Sky, of course, by ELO, the Electric Light Orchestra, all the way from 1977 from their 7th studio album, Out of the Blue, which was a 4-sided album, which Jeff Lynne, the founder and main singer and main composer, he composed all the songs on that double album in a 2-week period in a retreat in Switzerland. Isn't that quite incredible? To compose so many wonderful songs from that album in such a short period of time. And of course, as he rightly says, Mr. Blue Sky from 1977 is perhaps his most famously recognised song of the band ELO. It reached number 6 in the UK chart, but we all know it and love it. It is that signifier of summer, is it not? So there we go. That was our opening one this evening. As always, if you enjoy what you see and you hear on A Date Within a Set, press the thumbs up button and it will illuminate and dance away for you to show you that you have done that. Fantastic. Right. As I say, we're trying to fit in 7 pieces this evening, so I've got to just watch what I say and still be polite to you all in the chat. Well, you know, relatively polite in the chat room as well as we go along. Do enjoy our next bit of music. Mark Turville, can I just point out that you're copying my brother's technique of just randomly saying blue things, you know? Blue shirt. Why not? Why not? Um, well, yes, it was Blue something, and the Blue Hearts, which were quite hard to find, I may say, so I hope you appreciated those, were a massive hint. The title of that song was, well, it still is, Love is Blue, L'amour est bleu. And it comes from 1967. It was composed, alors, by Monsieur André Popp. And Monsieur André Popp was a Belgian composer, and he composed an awful lot of hits for Belgium and France. And the reason why that song has become known, it was made famous by Vicky. Now, Vicky was the Luxembourg entry in the 1967 Eurovision Song Contest for which that song was composed. And yeah, it did quite well. I think it came up. Oh, well done, Judy. It came up with a blue. I don't know what gave the blue away. You know. Yeah. Sorry. What were we talking about? Sorry, Judy. Yeah, it was the Luxembourg entry. It came number 4 that year in the Eurovision Song Contest. Brother Mark, you might remember that. It's way before my time. But it was made much more famous by the French orchestral leader Paul Mariat, who did an instrumental recording of it, and it was that one that went a bit global in the Euro scene. A paler shade, yeah, I like that. That's a good title for a song, A Paler Shade of Blue. Fantastico. We'll have that one. Anyway, that's what that one was. Our second one, it was Love is Blue from 1967. Of course. Yes, you can say of course now. Can't you? Anyway, can I just do a little plug for this week's upload, which was a James Bond theme in the month of May, in the merry, merry month of May. On the Fridays, my uploads are all going to be covers of James Bond songs, and I started off with Goldfinger from 1965, and one of John Barry's finest scores as belted out by Dame Shirley Bassey. That's there as an upload on the channel, and there is a direct link to it underneath this video if you wish to take yourself there and hear my piano cover of John Barry's wonderful Goldfinger. Yeah, it's good. It's a good film as well. A good watch, I reckon, that one. Good value film. Incredibly daft in places, of course, but that's how we like it, is it not? Good evening. Hello, Marwan. How lovely to see you. Good evening in Egypt. We are honoured. How lovely to see you. Fantastic. Right. Now, what are we doing next? What are we doing next? Yeah, Burley Chassis. Indeed. Dame Shirley Burley Whirly Chassis. And other names, probably. We're going on, I think. This is getting very out of hand already. Let's go on with our next bit of music. Do enjoy. Hello, Cousin Glenn. How fantastic to see you. Wonderful. Yes, indeed. Blue skies. Blue skies. Blue skies. I'm just sort of reading the comments and clearly not able to talk at the same time. Hello, Lizzie. Fantastic. Oh, that's really nice, Lizzie. Fantastic. Yeah, blue skies, blue skies, blue skies. Looking at me, nothing but blue skies. Can I see from 1926? What an amazing standard that was! It was one of the many songs that was written in a long period of time that used the phrase "bluebird of happiness" to signify cheery, misdemeanor. Cheery things in gloomy times. That's really why that line appears in so many songs. It's a really, really great song, and one of my favourite ones. And it was composed, of course, by Mr. Bob Monkhouse, not Bob Monkhouse at all, by Mr. Irving Berlin. Irving Berlin, that wonderful man who lived to nearly 100 years old, just as well, because he kept writing songs all the way to the end. He composed around about 1,500 songs, we think. He had a routine. He would try and compose a complete song, that is, the music and the lyrics, every single day. He would have his evening meal and then he would sit down and compose until it was done. And my goodness me, what a legacy he left us. Fantastic song. And a truly lovely man, by all accounts. That song, Blue Skies, first appeared. It was a sort of, that's the wrong camera, as a guest song in a Rodgers and Hart musical called Betsy. But it was such a hit that it became famous in its own right, and it's one of the most recorded cover songs of the Great American Songbook. So there we go, Blue Skies, all the way from 1926. A reminder, if you are not subscribed, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, Gigi the Piano Man. It doesn't cost you anything, of course. And like and comment and share, and then we'll keep going for another 250 programs. Maybe. Righty-ho. I'm talking too much. We are going on with our next song. Do enjoy. Surely not, Hannah. I wouldn't dream of trying to put in bits of other songs where they don't belong or do belong or something. Yes, indeed, of course, as you said, Hannah, Jill, Mark and Auntie Roz, it was indeed Blue Moon, another fantastically famous standard, a very famous chord sequence. It was composed by Richard Rodgers in his partnership with Lawrence Hart, Rodgers and Hart. And quite an interesting history to that one, because it went through 4 sets of complete lyric changes, and Lawrence Hart was just about ready to give up when he was asked by MGM to write a 4th set of lyrics. But thank goodness he did, because it became the wonderful smoochy ballad that we know and love today. Of course, it was. It's been covered by so many people. It was made famous by Mel Torme, and in the UK by the Marcells. But it's been covered by everyone, hasn't it? Covered by me now. 1934 was the date. So there we go. Now look, before. Oh, hello, hello, Alison. How nice to see you. Indeed. There's a second bit to that about better late than never, isn't there? But I can't remember what it is. But it's really lovely to see you. Seriously. Yeah. So I'm not one to blow my own Vertubenflugen. But I want to just, on this important occasion, just throw a few stats at you. And if you didn't see our opening little montage, play it again a little more slowly, and we'll let the ticker tape run, and I'll talk over it just to confuse the whole situation. But this is what's been going on our merry channel. There we were, Programme 1. I've worn 262 silk ties. I think I've drunk about 200 coffees, not all in one sitting, oddly enough. And when we started the programme back in 2020, we had 36 subscribers. As of today, unless anyone's dropped out, we've got 673 subscribers, which is fantastic. We've had lots of fun, as you can see, by these rather bizarre set of pictures. It seemed to be anything but playing the piano. I think I've played 2,187 pieces during our time together on A Date with a Dinner Set in 250 programmes. And it might interest you to know that each programme these days takes around about 7 hours to prepare from start to finish, and it starts straight away. There's already one on the list in preparation for, I mustn't look at the screen, for next Sunday. But yeah, I do have a lot of fun preparing the programme and getting together the facts and pictures and little bits and whatnots to go with it. I don't drink a coffee in every programme. Sometimes I have Diet Coke and water. There are 601 videos on my channel, on Gigi the Piano Man. So 250 of those are obviously A Date with a Dinner Set, but apparently the rest of them are all my video uploads. So I was quite surprised by that. There's quite a few videos there for you to watch. The most viewed channel video remains the very first one I uploaded, Michel Legrand's How Do You Keep the Music Playing. It's had lots and lots of... Oh, there you are, Hannah. Fantastic. How Do You Keep the Music Playing, which as of today has had 6,947 views. I am completely viral with that one, but you can get tablets from the pharmacy to cure that, I think. So there we go. There's just a few little happy snapshots of our time together on A Date with a Dinner Set. What fun! Prolific, I think that's what that says. Yes, it does. Yes. Lots and lots of fun doing that. A bit more coffee, then we go on with the next one. Do enjoy. The handkerchief on the head. We, a couple of years ago, we had a seaside based a date with a dinner set, I believe, in August bank holiday or something like that. And everything was all about the sea, so I think that's why. It was a clean one. I'm just pointing it out. It was a clean hanky that went on that. Now, that one was called BLUESETTE. You see, everything's about blue today, isn't it? And BLUESETTE was composed by this happy chappy, Mr. Toots Thielemans, who was a fantastic guitarist and harmonica player, played with all the greats. He was also a great whistler, and he composed that song BLUESETTE in 1961, and it became a great big hit because he was playing the guitar and whistling along. He has a very lovely whistling voice. Do you have a whistling voice? A whistling whistle. Very nice. So that rather lovely jazz. Absolutely, Anne. Yes, indeed. So that's what that was, that jazz waltz. It was BLUESETTE from 1961. So I talked about the fact that on Fridays we're doing James Bond uploads this month. Oh, I'm glad they're coming across as blue. That, believe me, there are a lot more blue in the room, but just the way that things work on YouTube, it's not as blue as I would like. But there we go. But it goes with the sort of blue theme of this evening. So yeah, Friday uploads are all James Bond, but of course this coming Thursday it's VE Day, the 80th anniversary, and look out, I'm going to do a special upload. I'm not quite sure what time it will go out. It will depend on what noise there is going on in this building when I can record that, but I wanted to give a bit of a tribute to VE Day, so there's one or two pieces associated with that time going to be going up actually on the day on 8th of May. So that is also happening this week. It's a busy week, isn't it? Busy week. Very busy week. We like busy weeks. On with our next one. Now look, you're quite entitled not to know the name of this piece at all, but take a leaf out of my brother's book and just keep pressing and guessing, really. Type in anything. And or maybe take a leaf out of Judy's book, because you could be right on this occasion. It could be there. Hello, Mary Jane. How lovely to see you. Fantastic. Lovely. Yes, that's a good point, Alison. Maybe that's not what was happening on that occasion. You never know. Right, what are we doing? Yeah, another piece. Enjoy. hey, you're all in the spirit of it this evening, aren't you? Good evening, Yaska. You're all guessing away with they're all quite good titles, actually. The Blue Smoke Blues, indeed, the Blue Cheese Blues. Yeah, I'm liking these a lot. Concentration. Some reason I was reading that as constipation, but I'm glad I didn't say that out loud. Yeah, in actual fact, it was called HOGTOWN Blues. It was composed by one of the most famous and most wonderful pianists forever and ever in the whole wide world, the galaxy, space, Mr. Oscar Peterson. He composed it in 1965 as part of his Canadiana suite, with his trio that was a suite of 8 pieces dedicated to his beloved homeland. And Hogtown is the nickname for Toronto because of its pork processing history. So I think a lot of you recognised it as a blues, and therefore you were fairly safe in what you were doing there. But yeah, we needed a bit of contrast going on. Now look, obviously it's programme 250 today on A Date with a Dinner Set on the 4th of May, and that's quite important by itself. But you would be cross with me, wouldn't you, if I didn't tell you that in addition to it being programme 250, the most important thing about today is the fact that it is National Lemonade Day. Yes, I know. You heard it here. The first Sunday in May. I have a feeling we have celebrated this one once before, but when I was looking up what else could we celebrate, we always try and celebrate something else. This one fitted absolutely perfectly. It seemed to sum up summer in its refreshing zing, as indeed the zing of the music on A Date with a Dinner Set. And as if by magic, isn't it nice of Hugo Boss to design a tie which is both blue to go in with our blue theme and indeed covered in lemons. Isn't that just amazing, the way that that works out sometimes? Now look, we're going to go into our last bit of music this evening before we say goodnight. You'll be very pleased, as soon as I start playing and you recognise it, you'll be very pleased to hear that I've shortened it. It is the abridged version of this, very much abridged, over troubled water, that sort of thing. So do enjoy our final piece, and then we will say goodnight in our usual way. Of course. Rhapsody in Blue. Well, a little bit, anyway. Mr. George Gershwin, there he is. And he has the score in front of him to prove that he indeed wrote it. He wrote it in 24 for that very famous concert imagined by Paul Whiteman. The concert called An Experiment in Modern Music that went on for about 4 hours in the Aeolian Hall. But that was its first performance. Gershwin wrote it in less than 5 weeks. Lots and lots and lots of fun. And it's been fun to theme everything around blue this evening to celebrate the wonderful blue skies we have been enjoying. Indeed. Thank you, Ollie. Thank you, everyone who's saying thank you. It's been lots and lots of fun, and let's hope that we continue for, well, maybe another 250 programmes, who knows? So, this evening, Sesame Street, our fun time together, has truly been brought to you this evening by the number 250. Sesame Street has also been brought to you this evening by the colour blue. So I do hope that you have enjoyed our merry selection that we've had this evening on programme 250. And as always, thank you so much for watching and for being here and for your comments. Absolutely fantastic to see you. Thank you for all your support over the past 250 programmes, and hopefully in the programmes that there are to come. Have a good weekend. Have a good bank holiday in the week that is to come. Thank you so much for listening. Take care of yourselves and see you next week. All the very best. Good night.